Eat right here for you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Come on, y'all. Y'all serious? Give me 1 second. A barber will be right with you.
All good.
Hey, Nino. Hey. Para de jugar. Hey. Yo, come on. Hey, yo.
Hey, man, it's just a treat.
Oh, what did you do? Bien? No?
Yeah, bueno pelo, man. Gracias.
Doritos done stretched me out for the last part of last year. 3 concepts, 3 L's, crazy work. Let's talk about it. So, our barbershop concept wasn't the best. I get it, but I tried my best.
Listen, you're a good sport, sir. Listen, Doritos are way of life.
So, our barbershop concept that we did for Dorito was a stretch. It was funny in representation and articulation, but the iteration was all wrong. Why I say that? It was too fast, it was a little corny, and it was lacking smoothness of digestion. Being as though you need to digest Doritos, so your concept needs to be easily digestible. I feel like our video was kind of like we're trying to shove the comedic value down people's throats. Pause. Rather than letting the story flow, letting the story build itself. Even though we did, but it was just really fast when it got to the point. Storytelling. We had an extremely original idea, but Dorito was supposed to be used to being eaten, not a hair fixer-upper. Now, granted, it was a reach, but I thought it was funny. I guess we only did. Doritos branding is about food and being a snack and being clutch and being crunchy and being bold. I thought it was a bold attempt to try to say, hey, barbers can fix their mistakes with a patch of Doritos. That was the thinking behind it. So before I go further, shout out to the crew, Darnell, Caitlin, Bruce, Four Corners Pub, my man Spencer, Primetime Barbershop, my man Sam, and his kids. Huge help. Love the kids. Magnif loves the kids. Luke, and the great acting by my brother, Brandon. Cinematic breakdown. Now, all 3 videos I could have done better with composition, focal points, different aspect ratios, different frame guides. Long story short, what I'm trying to say is close-ups, mediums, and wides, and continuously being able to pick up different moments from a wide perspective, a medium perspective, and a close-up perspective. For some reason, our eyes, our influence is very connected with the wide range of different focal points. Where I was kind of being lazy with our approach to this. Granted, I had great reasoning, but still, this is why we took that L. The lighting was quite difficult, being as though we were shooting a commercial while business was running. So we had to respect the fact that people were actually working while we're trying to have fun. So you can understand the limitations to what we had because of this factor. When you're trying to build cinematic lighting, you tend to try to turn off different sectors of light of the location and really home in on directional lighting, contrast lighting, and where I'm putting my key on and so forth. So this would have hindered other people's taking their haircut, because now if we had everybody in darkness, we really would have been using Doritos and patches because it would have been crazy dark in there. So ultimately, the video kind of felt washed out. It kind of felt very busy because of how much things were going on. It felt real natural having other barbers in the way, but ultimately sometimes the barber that we were actually shooting was actually working while we were shooting. And every time he had a little break, he would come in and come out. Patience was a big thing for the barbershop video we did from Doritos. Sometimes doing free shoots will be more expensive than actually paying people for their services. Why do I say that? As a creative constructor, asking for favors, you're actually asking for frustration. We had to be cautious about how much we're willing to push the accountability metric, what we can hold people to, and also present a lot of grace because we understand that they're helping you. So what do I mean by that? So you get into a very uneasy, pragmatic situation where you want to help, you enjoy the help, and you appreciate everybody, but sometimes you're not moving as fast. Sometimes they're a little tardy. Sometimes they need to hurry up and get whatever you need them to do so they can get going and doing what they want to do. And sometimes I can never predict how long shoots can take because so many random things tend to come up at any instance. So you have to be very understanding that, hey, this person's doing you a favor, so I can't push this. Now, that's a me problem of having enough confidence to hold people to their word, but ultimately I just feel some type of way being able to push hard, be demanding in such an environment where people are ultimately helping me help them, but they're more so helping me more than they're helping themselves. And that's the viewpoint in which we see it from. And then when you get into these positions, it's the true vulnerability inside of your vision, because you're just unwilling to push because you don't want to come off wrong. Lighting. Fortunately, couldn't afford a gaffer, and the gaffer that we had another situation, so he had to go take the paid situation rather than what we were doing. Now granted, I do own all my lighting, but since I had 3 hats, I had to sacrifice a lot of lighting because of the shortcomings of the crew and what's more important, getting the shot or getting the light. Now, in one situation, if I'm in one department, I would say no, the lighting is more important. But unfortunately, I had to wear 3 hats, so getting the actual product done was more important than how we arranged the lighting. So then we present compromises. The barbershop was lit with a whole bunch of fluorescent lights. Now, fluorescent lights are not bad, but again, for it being so bright, it just takes away all the characteristics of the excitement of the scene and of the film, and not having that vibe and not having that feel can really mess up what you're truly trying to instill. So the biggest takeaway from the barbershop shoot was you really learn who you are when you're giving all you have and you know you're not going to get what you want. And constantly remember, you have to put the people before the project, because that will be the permanent factor that the people will remember about you. It's people before passion, because ultimately being a better communicator and collaborator will then offer me more connections so I can create, which then helps you become a more prosperous leader. So besides all the insecurities that I am stressing about free shoots, the more organized that we would have been, the better outcome that we would have had. So despite what level of production, what level of income, what level of importance that everybody brings upon the project, the more organized you are, the more structural you are, the more directed you are, the better outcome that you will get. I tend to get into this kind of ego space where I feel like, oh, I'm magnificent. I always figure it out. And granted, I still think we have a pretty decent video, but it could have been so much better, especially looking at the competition, just knowing how much effort that they put in. I know I probably left 20% at the scene, and next time it'll never happen to me again. So here's some great advice to do free spec shoots. Here's something you should consider. Find a way, find a window, find the will to win without all the bells and whistles. Again, find a way, find a window, find a will to win without the bells and whistles. What do I mean? The world is going to put walls between you and what you want. And if you circumvent and you deteriorate and you surrender to the fact that you don't have the money, the creative team, the income, the equipment to do it, it's going to cost you a nightmare. The brain is going to put up these walls, but you gotta be the person to be able to fight back. So having the will to win and the will to want, despite having what you need, will ultimately serve you the confidence and the trust and the love for yourself. So then when you garner the success and the opportunities and the connections and the equipment, you will have such a strong sense of self to be able to put everything else that you need to do and create the vision that you want. So again, just to put that in a nutshell, the advice that I have for anybody creating free shoots, an upcoming cinematographer, find a way to do it. Use your phone, use your camcorder, use your laptop, webcam. Set it up. These things that you're doing when you have the lack of equipment is essentially going to carry over by so much wisdom. And when you do have the things that you need, it's going to be breezy, easy, beautiful, comfort girl. Until next time, there'll be a next time. Subscribe. I'll see you next time. So until next time, deuces.